I'm Roman Yossi of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Dante Fabro of the Nashville Predators.
This is Philip Forsberg of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Colton Sissons of the Nashville Predators.
I'm Eustace Aros of the Nashville Predators.
You're listening to the Renegades of Puck
with Crazy Charlie.
Welcome to the Bunker. Welcome to the Renegades of Puck podcast. I'm your host and captain, Crazy Charlie Saunier. Before we get started with the No Half Step in hockey coverage, first let me direct you to our home website, renegadesofpuck.com. Once you go to renegadesofpuck.com, you'll learn everything you need to know about the show, what you're good and educated about the show. That's when you're going to click on that merchandise tab. It's going to take you straight to our classic logo t-shirt, all the gimmicks you've come to know and love and expect from the Renegades of Puck. Socks, throw pillows, wall art, bed sets, makes no difference to us. Something like 88 different items in our online store. The best way to say it is that we've sold out so that you can buy in. Renegades of Puck merchandise does make great Christmas gifts, so go ahead and order that up today. Social media is how you can support the Renegades of Puck. Jump in the trenches. You can find us on Instagram. You can also find us on Threads and still on X. So please, Facebook as well. Don't forget that. Whatever it is that's your pleasure on social media, please help us out. Support us by joining us on those platforms and helping us pass the info about the show along. It would go a long way to helping out this independent, unaffiliated operation known as the Renegades of Puck. Doesn't cost you a thing, doesn't take you but a second. Sure goes a long way to helping us out. YouTube, please subscribe to our channel and then turn on those notifications. Catch the latest information and the latest content from the Renegades of Puck right there via YouTube. We sure do appreciate all of our most recent subscribers. Stick taps, love, and respect to each and every one of you. Thank you so much for helping support the channel. We do have a virtual tip jar over there on the corner of the desk if you'd like to support the show. At any point in time, you can scan that QR code or you can just search Renegades of Puck on Venmo and you can make a donation there. We are independent and unaffiliated, which means we survive based on your generosity. So thank you so much, Renegades of Puck, for keeping us in business through the end of 2024. And let's get started on 2025 now. I know, always asking for more. Can't help it. It's a lot to keep the operations up and running. So again, stick taps, love, and respect to every one of you for supporting us out there. Now listen, I know it's time for the No Half Step in hockey coverage. Believe me, it's only 47 degrees out here in the bunker, so it is time to get with it. Let's deliver the goods. It's time for operation number 935. That's right, time for show number 935. And at this moment in hockey history, the Nashville Predators have climbed out of last place in the Central Division and currently find themselves at 7th place in the Central Division. After 24 games skated, they have a record of 7, 12, and 5, 19 points. Has the Nashville Predators well back from first place in the Central Division. We'll update the division here momentarily. On the road, which is where the Nashville Predators' next game will take place, they have a record of 2, 6, and 3. The Preds have only scored 56 goals on the season. They've given up 76. It's a goal differential of minus 20. For the Nashville Predators, once they wrap up this game in Minnesota, they will actually have a couple of days off before heading off to Toronto on Wednesday, Montreal on Thursday, Ottawa on Saturday, back home on the 10th of December versus the Calgary Flames. And on the 12th of December, the Preds will be in Dallas. Dallas, perfect segue to updating the Central Division standings. The Winnipeg Jets currently sit in first place as they have since the very beginning of the season, but the gap is shrinking for the Jets, who have become somewhat realistic in the last 2 weeks. They have 36 points and are in first place, but the Minnesota Wild have 34 points and are in second place. That also happens to be the Nashville Predators' next opponent. Bookmark that. We'll come back to them. The Dallas Stars have 26 points, are in third place. The Colorado Avalanche also with 26 points in fourth place. The St. Louis Blues are at 23. Utah's at 21. The Predators are at 19 in seventh place. And Chicago in last place with 18 points overall on the season. Now, the Predators and the Minnesota Wild, Central Division rivals. The first time they're meeting this season. They'll meet 2 more times. December 31st. That's right. New Year's Eve. The Predators will be in Minnesota taking the Wild. And on the 18th of January, Preds will close out the regular season series against Minnesota by hosting them at Bridgestone Arena. Other information real quick about the Nashville Predators before we focus on the Minnesota Wild for a moment. Luzon is still listed as week to week. McCarron still on injured reserve. The Minnesota Wild currently find themselves in second place in the Central Division after 23 games skated. They have a record of 15-4-4, 34 points, has them 15 points ahead of the Nashville Predators and just 2 points out of first in the Central on home ice, which is where this game will take place. They have a record of 5-3-1. They have scored 74 goals in the season. They've given up 56 against. They are a goal differential of plus 18. So 38 goals between win the two teams in goal differential. That is a huge margin between these two teams, and the stats and the rankings are going to bear that out. But let's first talk about the Minnesota Wild's most recent stretch of completed 5 games, which takes us back to November the 21st for a 5-3 win at the Edmonton Oilers. On the 23rd of November, it was a 4-3 shootout loss at Calgary. On the 25th, a 4-1 loss versus Winnipeg. On the 27th, a 1-0 win at Buffalo. And on the 29th of November, which just happened, it was a 3-2 win versus Chicago. Fleury picked up the victory, going 20 out of 22. So the Minnesota Wild on home ice on Friday. The Nashville Predators also on home ice on Friday. These two teams will meet in Minnesota on Saturday. That means the Wild stayed the night at home and will play a back-to-back, and the Predators had to travel to face a back-to-back. Now, talking about that particular matchup, and these are the most updated statistics from the NHL, the Nashville Predators have climbed out of dead last in the NHL in goals per game at 2.33. They are all the way up to 31st in the NHL. Wow, they've really shown some significant improvement. 3.22 goals per game for Minnesota is 13th best in the NHL, but this is right where the Predators are going to play into the Wild's hands perfectly on the second day of back-to-backs. Minnesota only giving up 2.35 goals against per game. That's best overall in the NHL, while the Predators are 31st in scoring at 2.33. Those numbers are too damn close. Shots on goal for the Nashville Predators, 29.5 is 14th in the NHL. For Minnesota, 28.8 is 17th overall in the league. The Wild are giving up 28.9 shots against per game. That's 20th, while the Preds are giving up 30.1 shots against per game. That's 25th in the NHL. Special teams, the Nashville Predators power play is ahead. Actually, the Preds are ahead on both of these statistical metrics. 20.3% conversion rate for the Predators is 17th best in the NHL, 15 conversions on 74 power play opportunities. Minnesota, 19.1% conversion rate, 19th overall in the NHL, 12 power play goals on 63 opportunities. The Predators penalty kill unit continues to be the best overall in the NHL, rated first with an 89.9% kill rate. They have given up 8 power play goals against, though, on the season. That is trickling in the upward direction in recent stretch of hockey, but still the best overall rated penalty kill in the league. 74.1% is the kill rate for the Minnesota Wild. That's 27th best in the NHL. They've given up 14 power play goals against this season. Individual scoring leaders for each of these teams. Let's start with the visiting Nashville Predators. Why won't we? The captain, Roman Josi, leads the Preds in scoring with 7 goals and 13 total assists for 20 points. That is the first Nashville Predators player to reach 20 points this season in 24 games. Philip Forsberg's at 9 goals. That's the best on the Preds, plus 8 assists, 17 points, second overall on the team. O'Reilly's at 4-9 for 13. Stamkos 7-5 for 12, and Marchessault 4-8 for 12 points. Over on the Minnesota Wild side of things, Kaprizov having an impressive beginning to the season with 14 goals. That paces Minnesota. 22 assists also paces the Minnesota Wild. So, of course, he's first overall in scoring on the Wild with 36 points. That is highly, highly impressive. Kaprizov, a talented youngster who usually does quite good against the Nashville Predators. Boldy's got 11 goals and 13 assists for 24 points. Rossi's at 7-11 for 18. Zuccarello 6-8 for 14, still getting it done. And Eriksson Ek 5+7 for 12. And Eriksson Ek has interesting games against the Nashville Predators, so watch out for that particular matchup. In net, since this is the second night of back-to-backs for both of these teams, Fleury got the start against Chicago, picked up the victory for Minnesota. UC Saros took the loss in overtime against Tampa Bay. So we will see Scott Wedgwood in net for the Nashville Predators with a record of 1-2-1 on the season, 3.69 goals against, and an .878 save percentage. Go up against Gustafsson, 10-4-3 on the year with a 2.06 goals against average and a save percentage. Oop, the sheet fell. Of 929 with 2 shutouts. Yes, I do use pucks as paperweights, and I just lifted the puck up off of the paper, and it fell down. Go figure. So that's going to get you all set up for the Nashville Predators at Minnesota on the second night of back-to-backs, coming off the Thanksgiving one-day break. What a tough immediate schedule to have the Tampa Bay Lightning at home on a Friday afternoon and then immediately head off to Minnesota. So that's got you set for that game. Let's go back to what happened against the Tampa Bay Lightning on a Friday afternoon. It was the first game of a doubleheader. 3 Sports full game recap. It's coming up next on Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hockey players are as unique as the game itself, and your uniform should be tailored to fit you. Rebirth Sports is your sports apparel tailor. From shells, bags, warm-ups, hats, hoodies, branding, and more, let Rebirth Sports be your custom hockey tailor.
And don't forget to tell them they do more than just hockey.
Rebirth Sports on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Rebirth Sport, a match made in hockey.
It's now time for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We go all the way back November the 20th of the year 2024 when the Nashville Predators were taking on the Tampa Bay Lightning at Bridgestone Arena in an afternoon affair. Head coach Andrew Burnett deploys his lines and defensemen in the following way: Forsberg, O'Reilly, and Nyquist, Stamkos, Novak, and Marchessault, Jankowski, Svechkov, Evangelista, LaRue, Sissons, and Smith. Yossi and Carrier, Shea, Blankenberg, Willsby, and Shen make up your defensive pairings, and UC Saros gets the start on home ice. We are 1 minute and 23 seconds into the game. We find our first action of the game, and it's the captain, Roman Josi, scoring his 6th goal of the season. It was a long wrist shot through traffic. It was also the first shot on goal of the game. It's into the back of the net. The Nashville Predators take a 1-0 lead over the Tampa Bay Lightning early on a Friday afternoon. 2:39 now of the first period. It's Johansson coming up with a save on Evangelista at the 3:26 mark of the first period. Saros coming with a save on Radish. That's the first save of the game for UC Saros at the 5:45 mark of the first period. Steven Stamkos off to the box. 2 minutes for holding an outstanding penalty kill by the Nashville Predators, led by Cole Smith, doing the hard work and keeping the Tampa Bay Lightning from getting any cycle going. A 9:59 now of the first period. UC Saros coming with a save on Perbix at the 12:19 mark of the second. It's Saros coming with a save on Lilleberg during lengthy possession in the offensive zone. The Tampa Bay Lightning were dominating, keeping pucks in at the blue line. The Predators able to survive. Johansson comes up with the save on Shen at the 13:09 mark. The 14:06 mark, Johansson comes up with the save on Evangelista. His hard crash following the puck to the net leads to a scrum after the whistle. Great to see Luke crashing and going to the hard areas, trying to earn the Predators a greasy goal. 17:18 the first period. UC Saros coming with a save on Hedman at the 19:09 mark. It's Johansson coming with a save on Willsby at the 19:36 mark. McDonough picks up a penalty. He's off to the box for 2 minutes, putting the Nashville Predators on the power play. We'd hit the end of the first period with the Predators leading 1-0 and out shooting Tampa Bay 10-7. That power play would carry over into the second period for 1 minute and 36 seconds. And buckle up, we are about to have one of the longest special teams sequences that I've seen in quite some time. So it begins at the beginning of the second period with the Predators on the power play for 1 minute and 36 seconds in, and then 1:14, Stamkos picks up a penalty 2 minutes for tripping. So while the Nashville Predators are on the power play, this creates a 4-on-4. But at the same time, Marchessault and Moser are off to the box 2 minutes each for roughing after the whistle on that Stamkos penalty. Nashville goes on the penalty power play for 22 seconds. Then we have a 4-on-4 scenario. Then Tampa Bay is on the power play for 1 minute and 36 seconds. Then UC Saros would come with a huge save on point before Esamont picks up a penalty for 2 minutes. It would be Sorelli picking up the shorthanded goal for the Tampa Bay Lightning, his 10th of the season. He's attempting to pass, and the chip goes up over UC Saros and into the net. It was a 2-on-0 shorthanded rush for the Tampa Bay Lightning, and they tie the game up at 1 apiece. 5 minutes and 8 seconds of special teams to begin the period. And of course, you can go back and tack on the final few seconds of the second period. So 5.5 straight minutes of this game played in special teams sequences. At 8:18 of the second period, it's Gonzalez, the first goal of the season. A tip from the low slot puts Tampa Bay ahead 2-1. And then at the 11:20 mark of the second period, it's the captain, Roman Josi, responding with his second goal of the game, his 7th of the season. The Jankowski feed to Josi crashing in the slot pays off big time as the Nashville Predators tie this game up at 2 apiece. At the 12:03 mark now of the second period, Johansson coming with a save on Svechkov at 13:34. The second period, Saros coming with a save on Chernak's deflection. 15:22, Chernak again with the opportunity. Saros again Shen with the stop. 18:48 in the second. It is Johansson coming with a save on Shen. We hit the end of the second period. This game is tied up at 2 apiece. The Predators are out shooting Tampa Bay by a total of 22-15. We are into the third period, and it is just 19 seconds in, and UC Saros is picking up a penalty for delay of game, playing the puck over the glass. An outstanding penalty kill by the number one overall penalty kill unit in the NHL would ensue as they bail out their starting netminder at the 2:31 of the third period. It's Novak hitting the post during an intense pressure sequence by the Nashville Predators. It seemed like the Nashville Predators were destined to score on this shift, but unable to do so, and the post just got in the way again. 3:48 now, the third period. Saros coming with a save on Hagel at 6:04. Saros a save on Gensel, 10:35 of the third. Saros another save on Gensel, this time off of the rush at the 11:14 mark of the third period. It's Johansson coming with a save on Yossi's backhand, looking for the hat trick right there. 13:51 of the third. Saros comes with a save on Moser after multiple attempts at close range. Both of the D were actually able to get shots on goal here at the end of this sequence. The Preds bend don't break on this one. We go to the backside of the sheet. We pick things up at 15 minutes of the third period, and it's Saros coming with a save on Sorelli. 16:41. Saros a save on Point. 17:35. Saros a save on Perbix, and at 18:02 UC Saros a save on Esimont. You see the Nashville Predators are under siege here near the end of regulation. We do hit the end of regulation. It's tied up. The Nashville Predators outshoot Tampa Bay 31-26 in regulation. We hit the overtime frame. We're 41 seconds into the 3-on-3, and it's Philip Forsberg off to the box. 2 minutes for high sticking, but Tampa Bay is not going to need nearly as much time as Point will put this game away with the 16th goal of the season. It was a sweet backhand after outweighting UC Saros and putting the puck in the net. Tampa Bay wins this game 3-2 in overtime, sweeping the 2-game regular season series, and the Nashville Predators fall in both of those games in overtime. So the Predators do earn 2 out of a possible 4 points on the season against the Tampa Bay Lightning. Nashville outshoots Tampa Bay for the game 31-28, but that does not matter a whole lot. The Nashville Predators again struggle to find more than 2 goals in a game, and the captain, Roman Josi, is the only one that put the puck in the net in this game. Tough loss in OT for the Predators on Gold Friday. I doubt that helped sell many ticket packages. That's going to do it for the Rebirth Sports full game recap. We've got analysis and so much more coming up next, right here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
Hello, hello, hello. I'm Tracy, owner-operator of Strong Style Fitness. And that's me and my training assistant, Rizzo. And we are here to bring you fitness that meets you where you are by offering circuit classes, bar-inspired classes, Tabata workouts, boot camps, guided stretching, and more, all taught by a certified personal trainer, me. To learn more, go to our website, strongstylefit.com. Subscribe on YouTube at Strong Style Fitness. Follow on social media at Strong Style Fit. But most importantly, let's get you moving. It doesn't matter if it's your first workout or you've been doing it for years. Strong Style Fitness has the workout that meets you on your journey and helps you along the path to a happier, healthier life. I understand where you've been, what you were going through, and where you were going, and I want to take you there. We'll see you on the mat. Mwah.
Welcome back in. Time to do some analysis on this Predators Tampa Bay matinee. UC Saros got the start, went 25 out of 28. You know what? It's incredibly hard to be a goaltender when your team has 0 offense in front of you. 2.33 goals per game, 31st in the NHL. The Preds were dead last in the NHL before that, but somehow the Boston Bruins have sunk below the Predators. So UC Saros is still putting up pretty good numbers overall in the season. 2.60 goals against a 9.12 save percentage with 2 shutouts, but the record 6-10-4. Man, it's tough. It's tough because the Nashville Predators offense should be so much better than they are, but they are not, and we're 24 games into the season, so it's time to start just asking some real serious questions about this. Captain Roman Josi did generate all of the offense for the Nashville Predators in this game. He's got 2 goals in this game. He started the scoring early, and he helped tie the game up. He has now 7 goals on the season, 20 points overall, the first Predator this season to reach the 20-point mark. And again, again, when Roman Josi starts getting going on one of those streaks, he piles up points, and he's doing so right now. 7 goals through 24 games. That's a pretty good number when you figure, even top defensemen struggle to get out of the high teens in goals per season. Roman Josi now starting to really, really pick up the pace in recent stretches of hockey now at 20 points on the season. Luke Evangelista had an assist in this game, also had 3 shots on goal. Hit another post, continues to be noticeable, and you see it. Everybody sees the broadcast, notices the national broadcast, the local broadcast. Everybody is seeing how hard Luke Evangelista is working out there. Just imagine if Luke Evangelista had line mates that were going as hard and as consistently as he is out there on the rink. 3 shots on goal in this game as well for Luke Evangelista, and he had 1 takeaway in this game. Steven Stamkos did generate an assist against his former team, the Tampa Bay Lightning, but a problem. He picked up 2 penalties in this game. I know he was arguing, and it was suspect and questionable, but it was still a penalty on the 1 call that he did pick up. But Steven Stamkos has to stay out of the box and has to start delivering on the offensive side of things. Right now, his 7 goals, yes, is tied for second on the team in total goals, but the Predators' offense can't go anywhere unless a legend like Steven Stamkos is out there producing at a consistent level. Also, Jonathan Marchessault, and frankly, everybody on the Nashville Predators. The forwards are not producing at a high enough level. Everybody knows that. Jankowski, give him some credit in this one. He picks up an assist. He had a shot on goal. He had a hit. He only had 12-16 in total time on ice. He did have 206 of that total time on ice was shorthanded. He is a hard worker. He went out there. He picked up an assist, passing the puck to his captain in the slot to let Roman Josi take care of the skill part of things. Jankowski deserves some credit for how hard he works. There's very little skill or flash to his game. It is really straightforward, hardworking, and physical when necessary. I like Jankowski as a player. Hopefully he'll get some good time tomorrow in the second night of the doubleheader. All right, that's going to do it for the analysis portion of things. After all, it's a quick turnaround, not only for the Predators, but also for the show. So let's go ahead and get this content out there so you guys can consume it and be ready for the game on Saturday. Let's hear from our good friends at Stripe Digital Solutions. Hope everybody had a happy Thanksgiving. Great to be back in the bunker here on the Renegades of Puck podcast.
The digital environment can be quite intimidating, time-consuming, and cumbersome, especially with all those other areas that need attention at your business, and that's why Stripe Digital Solutions is here to help. I know, because that's exactly what Stripe Digital Solutions did for me and the Renegades of Puck. From designing my home website and helping me create my merchandise to special event posters, brand building, and social media management. But it's not just that, it's so much more. Stripe Digital Solutions has helped me every step of the way. From startup to full-time operation, Stripe Digital Solutions has been there to assist and advise every single step of the journey. In today's fast-paced world, the path to success is having a strong digital partner, and nobody is better in the trenches than Brandy and Stripe Digital Solutions. Get the solution before it's even a problem with Stripe Digital Solutions.
Welcome back in. Let's talk about this box score right here. Goal scorer for the Nashville Predators, Roman Josi. He had 2 in this game. Assist awarded to Luke Evangelista, Mark Jankowski, and Steven Stamkos in this game. Total of 4 shots on goal is what paced the Nashville Predators. That was by Philip Forsberg, also Roman Josi, and Luke Schenn. So Roman Josi has a 50% shooting percentage in this game. That's impressive. Block shots, 4 is also the high number here. Alex Carey and Roman Josi with 4 block shots apiece. In the physical category, in the hits category, typically for the Nashville Predators, especially with Jeremy Lauzon in the lineup, but unfortunately out injured week to week right now, you see Lauzon leading the way, and you see Schenn also typically up there with some big numbers on hits, but it was the forwards in this game leading the way. Cole Smith with 8, LaRue with 5, Marchessault with 5, and Stamkos with 4 in this game. The defenseman led by Carrier with 3, and Luke Schenn also with 3. First night of a back-to-back. Let's see how Andrew Burnett did, balancing out the time on ice and preparing for the second night. 1958 is what led the way for the forwards. That was Philip Forsberg. That's good. No forwards over 20 minutes in this game. 1926 for Ryan O'Reilly. 16:23 for Steven Stamkos. So a big drop-off after the top 2 forwards for the Nashville Predators. Everyone else over 11 minutes. So that's a fairly decent job of balancing out the forwards in this game. Let's take a look at the defenseman time on ice. 25-38. No surprise right there that is the captain, Roman Josi. 23-14 for Alex Carey. 22-06 for Brady Shea, and every defenseman in the lineup played more than 15 minutes. So, again, a decent job by head coach Andrew Burnett of protecting minutes for the first half of a back-to-back weekend. The power play for the Nashville Predators ends up going 0-2. Some pretty weird sequences for the special teams in this game. Power play time on ice. Leaders 239 for Marchessault, 230 for Forsberg, for O'Reilly, and for Stamkos, and also the captain Roman Josi. But again, getting nothing done out there. The penalty kill went 3 out of 4. They did give up a power play goal against in this game, but they did a pretty excellent job against a top NHL power play. 3:27 shorthanded time on ice for Colton Sissons, 2:58 for Jankowski, 2:14 for Cole Smith. On the defensive side of things, 3:43 shorthanded for Alex Carrier, 2:57 for Josi, 2:52 for Shea, and 2:03 for Luke Shen. That is, again, a lot of shorthanded minutes for the number one overall penalty kill unit in the NHL. Your starting netminder, UC Saros, went 25 out of 28, gave up 3 goals against. That's an in-game save percentage of 8-9, 322 even strength saves, 2 power play saves, 1 shorthanded save. Nashville Predators unfortunately victimized by a shorthanded goal in this game. Other numbers falling out of the box score. The Preds almost dead even on the faceoff winning percentage in this game, 50.8%. They did have 39 hits. Good number right there. 20 block shots, 9 takeaways, 24 giveaways. That means sloppy on the puck again in this game. The Predators have been sloppy with possession of the puck so much this season. It's one of the reasons they're having so many problems. That's going to do it for the box score, and it's also very, very cold in this studio this evening. Going to be down into the mid-20s overnight into the morning, and again, it's going to be into the 20s a couple of days over the next week. No difference to us. We'll still be out here in the bunker, but we do want to be efficient with our time in these circumstances. So let's go ahead and close this one out by in the Central Division. It jumped out at me that the Predators had the least amount of regulation wins amongst the 8 clubs in the Central Division. So the Predators currently in 7th place have the least amount of regulation wins in the Central and the most amount of overtime losses in the Central. That is not a recipe for advancing in the standings, moving up, or getting much of anything accomplished. This most recent 2-game homestand for the Nashville Predators, you're trying to move a lot of tickets. You got all your Gold Friday discounts and deals going on in the pro shop. And unfortunately for the Predators, they snatch defeat from the jaws of victory against Philadelphia, and then they lose this one in overtime to Tampa Bay. So the Nashville Predators do manage to pick up 2 out of 4 points on the homestand, but losing both games in overtime. The fan base is definitely struggling to come to terms with how badly this Nashville Predators team has played through the first 24 games of the season. 7-12-5, only 19 points right now. A losing record at home, a losing record on the road, a goal differential of -20, the 31st rated goals per game in the NHL at 2.33. None of those things are very fun or exciting. Preds need to start turning things around. Minnesota's another high-quality opponent. The Predators will have an opportunity to skate against them and hopefully come away with 2 points. Then the Predators are off till Wednesday, so we'll have a couple of days to regroup, but you'll have a show well before that. That's going to do it for Operation number 935. It's cold, and I think I am exhausted from eating too many leftovers. Let's go ahead and sign off right here by saying we appreciate your time, we appreciate your viewership, and most importantly, we appreciate each and every one of you. I'm your host and Captain Crazy Charlie Saunier. Stick taps, love, and respect.